AMV Slayer here to bring you another manga recommendation, and this series is going to be Omoi no Kakera. I think I said actually say it right, which literally stands for Fragments of Love. And not just like the namesake, this series is split up into several different pieces. Like the chapter 7 could be after chapter 4, and chapter 3 could mean before chapter 9, and so on and so forth like that. But the good thing, just like my previous manga recommendation, this series is very short. It only has about 8 chapters and like 2 specials on the side. Like it's split up in chapter 2 somehow. It's really weird for some reason. Now this series is also a josei, which means it's targeted towards more adult or mature women. It's like the female equivalent of a seinen, which is targeted towards older/adult men. This is a pretty good series, but I had to warn you that it does have to deal with a few mature topics, just like I implied with the whole josei thing. It has to deal with the relationships of gay people and how they deal with social and peer pressure every day. If you can handle that, this series is really good, and you can get into it extremely easily. Now, Fragments of Love, Omoi no Kakera, has pretty much 5 main characters. The main one is Maki. Now, she is a high school student who's about 16 years old, and she is a very mature-minded and adult female. Even though she is so young, she has a very warped and cynical view towards love, and if you read on, you can understand why it happened. And then our second main character is called Harada, and our third one is called Mayu. I put them together because they're both brother and sisters. Now we get introduced to Harada first, because while going through like chapter 2, she goes to the gay district and she sees Harada, and she pretty much like a dead set that he's gay, and she knows it from the start. And then to kind of form a bond, because she's also in the same boat as him, because she was in the gay district, and they kind of had like a little bond with each other, girls and bills. But I feel like his character got pushed to the side a little too much, because his sisters who really took over, which was Mayu. Now she starts off as being very homophobic, and she doesn't really approve of what her brother does. And then as she meets Mika, she starts to change her views on what it's like to be a gay person, and tries to accept them more and more, and even tries to help Mika in her love life and interject herself as much as possible. Now the next 2 main characters are Saki, which is the best friend of Mayu, and she's kind of there for like emotional support whenever Mayu makes a mistake, because she's very impulsive, and Saki's much more level-headed and easier minded, so she's able to like help her in making decisions revolving around her brother and Mika being together, like around each other so much, and just in general the whole gay topic. And the final main character, I couldn't find her name. I just reread a few chapters, but I still couldn't find her name being said. She's just the manager of this cafe where Mika, the main character, works at, and she is able to enjoy herself and be herself, be her real self around the manager, and when she's working at this cafe. And she has a secret crush on her, because she has this thing where she's only attracted to older women. And you get, again, if you read the chapters, you can understand why this happened. And you can see how they first met, and it's kind of tragic. But overall, this series is excellent, but I think it's a little too short. And the only other thing I can say about it is that the character designs, it's kind of weird. Like every one of these very pointed chins, like they're like triangles most of the time. If you've watched Code Geass or Shiki, you know exactly what I'm talking about, what it looks like. And the artwork reminds me a lot of what Tite Kubo does with Bleach, how it's more focused on the characters, not the backgrounds. But I can forgive it, because this is not an action series. There's only like one miniature fight-ish scene somewhere in there, and it doesn't even matter. So overall, I give this manga my highest recommendation. I advise you to go out there and read it, just like Fortress of the Apocalypse. It's excellent, and it is a very good, almost social commentary of what it's like to be a gay person in modern day society, and again, the social peer and pressures.